listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Now here's Chris and Kristyn.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristyn.
And this is episode 2. Last episode we didn't even have a name.
Times have changed.
We've
moved on.
It's just that I love the name, but it's so freaking long to type.
We're gradually growing.
Next time it's going to be something easy, like the fish podcast.
Listen to us now. That's still kind of long.
Well, so I hope you like the intro. I'm going to give a quick little shout out to Mr. Sleeves, who's the voice that you hear in the beginning of the intro. I found Mr. Sleeves on this great website called Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr.com. And it's kind of like it reminds me of eBay for some reason, because it's people who will do services for you for just $5.
That sounds so wrong.
Now it sounds like Craigslist. Yeah.
Now it sounds a little bit different than eBay. Anything you want, $5.
Anything $5. $5 around the world, baby.
Cash only.
And so I visited Fiverr, and it's pretty cool because it actually has a random, choose a random page button on it, because you don't really get an idea of what can people do for me. So there's people like, I'll do a video testimonial for your website, and I guess if you're selling the ab sizer, hey, it worked for me,
Yeah, bro, that perfect washboard stomach.
There are some people who are doing. So Mr. Sleeves, I'm very, very happy with the job he did. I'm waiting on another one they did. It was basically graphics for my website, like a video with does mention the Two Strangers One Podcast on it, and so I'm still waiting on it. He said he was supposed to only take 24 hours, but
he's a little late.
And there are some pretty cool services. I mean, like the guy who does the video, it's just he has, I think it's called Sony Vegas for his computer, and you put in the words, and it automatically makes them look cool. It looks like there are lights flashing around it and staticky, and it looks like something out of Transformers. But there's people. I mean, there are people who like I said, those two are actual, genuine, really cool stuff. I mean, there's people I'll write your name on a logo and burn it on fire, and then I'll send you the video of it in reverse, so it looks like the piece of paper is coming together with your logo. And so, I mean, some of them are stupid. There's a guy who's kind of like a jackass kind of guy. He says, "I'll scream your name as I run full speed into a wall," which,
hit by a car.
And what a great birthday gift for somebody. Is
that $5 too?
Hey, yeah, it's $5. The guy says, the guy has a video. Man, I forgot. I don't have his name with me, but he was like, "I'll do a stunt, run head first into a wall."
We might just have to do it just for fun.
Exactly. Here's $50.
Yeah. Do we get to pick what he does, or he?
I think in this particular video, he was just saying, "I'll run into a wall at full speed." Hey.
Parents must be so proud of
Kristyn! Boom! Which, that'd be a funny video to send somebody,
face first.
This guy has a fucking concussion.
Right, yeah.
He said he was going to send a video. What happened to him?
Yeah, right.
He's in traction. Can I get the video?
What about the video? I spent good money on that. Sue him.
Two Strangers, One Podcast.
He doesn't finish it because it's too long.
Two strangers!
Oh,
boy.
Poor guy.
So it's Fiverr.com, Fiverr. It's kind of an unofficial endorsement. Like I said, the two people, one guy said it was going to be 24 hours for the graphics. I'm still waiting on it, but it's
quality.
Yeah, it's probably, but like I said, it's Mr. Sleeves, who's the voice you heard in the beginning. I'm very, very, very happy with his work.
Very cool.
There's more coming up. So I guess let's officially get started on the show.
This is it, episode 2.
Episode 2.
Welcome back. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening. We're on. We're officially now on iTunes. Hopefully you've gotten us through that way. We're still on Podomatic, which is www.twostrangersonepodcast.podomatic.com.
Come on, you could type it in. It's not that bad.
Yeah, and it's all one word. Sometime soon, we're probably just gonna go to GoDaddy.com and you could buy a website for like $4 and just have it redirected to the to the page.
Make sure it's GoDaddy and not like Big Daddy or something.
BigDaddy.com. I got
Don't go to that website.
2 strangers, 1 hole.
Yeah, right? You'll see 2 strangers go. It won't be us.
And so I'm still trying to figure out, because I'm an Android man myself. You have an iPad. Yeah. Well, you have an iPad and an Android, so you're kind of
actually,
like a...
Yeah, I think it's an Android or a Droid, who knows? I don't know, it's old.
Well, Android is the operating system.
Right? Okay. It's a couple years old. I have to update, sorry.
Well, remember, I worked in Radio Shack for like 2 years, so I know... there's the Android phone.
Name this technology? Can you name this style?
Oh my goodness, that's an LG. Well, actually, I like LGs when it comes to Android because like they have their own. Like what I like about the LGs with Android is, and allow me to get technical for a moment, is that it's just the basic nerd alert. Definitely, it's the basic bare bones Android on it. Because if you get like a HTC phone, they put a thing over called HTC Sense.
Okay.
So it's kind of like stuff on top of Android. Yeah. If you get what's the other one? I have what the hell do I have? I have Samsung. Mm-hmm. Well, Samsung, there's another, over the Samsungs, there's a thing called TouchWiz, which I kind of like. But what I really like about the LG phones is that it's pure generic Android. Like, if you're the kind of person that wants to hack the phone and do stuff with it, it's pretty decent. But you have an iPad, so what's that? What's that all about? You know, are you loyal?
Am I a loyal Mac user? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
You know, I thought I'd try it because, you know, everybody raves about it. And this is the first one, too. And then, of course, you get the first one, and a month later, the second one comes out.
Yeah, and now, did you hear? Now they're announcing an iPad Mini.
Yeah.
You might as well, it's a fucking iPad Touch. It's an iPod Touch. That's all
now
it is.
They got the tablets out. It's not iPad, though. It's
everybody has a tablet. Everyone has a tablet.
Now it's supposed to be like the tab. You know, everybody makes the whole thing.
The Zoom.
The Zoom. I like the iPad, but I don't know. Like, there's some restrictions on it where you couldn't do on a PC, things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not fully in love with it. I like it. It's very easy to go, but I'd rather have a laptop. I don't know if I would do a Mac. I do like this.
Yeah, we're recording on a MacBook Pro, which is about 3 years old. Or no, Jesus Christ! No, I got this in. Wow, this is going on 5 years old. This Mac.
This one's a couple of years. And
I'm on a MacBook Pro. It's so old. I mean, not old. For the tech heads out there, it's like 10.5 OS X 10.5, 10.5.8.
Geek Squad over here.
Yeah, Geek Squad. For anybody who knows, like 10.5 was like. They saw me coming when I got this Mac. It was because everything worthwhile for the Mac is 10.6.
Okay.
So I was like, oh wow, let me get the Mac, and it's like 10.5. Like they saw.
That's how they get you.
Ooh, look at this shine! And you know what it is? It's in the same freaking case as the other Mac. So like. Oh, I got a shiny Apple. Well, I'm not an Apple loyalist. I'm not one of those. I'm not the cult of Mac.
Yeah, either am I. See, I like features of both. Like, I can go either way.
Yeah, those people like, Like,
I like that because you could do all of this on it, audio and movies, and, like, you probably really couldn't do a lot of that on a PC. I feel like it slows it way down.
It crashes the, oh my God. I've tried to record audio on a PC.
Exactly.
And it's
that would be, like, my main reason to really get one of those. I mean, other than that, I don't really see the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 5-year-old machine, and we record an hour, and it's a little slow.
But I've seen...
But it hasn't crashed. I mean, knock on wood, but I've seen it. So I can talk for an hour and nothing happens.
Starting to smoke a little bit.
What's that frowny face?
What is this?
Red blinking frowny face.
And I like, I like some of their stuff. Like, I love my my iPod. Love that. Of course.
Yeah, the iPods. Even if you absolutely hate Mac in every way, shape, or form, you got to love the iPods.
Oh yeah. And
the battery life on them is phenomenal. Because there was the big thing, being a nerd, like, when they first came out, like, oh, you can't change the battery, but I've had I've had my iPod even longer than the Mac. I've had that thing probably 6 years.
Mine, I've had for probably around the same.
Yeah, it's
like when it first came out. Yeah,
it's the 160. I have the 160 gig. Like the last one that actually had like the scroll wheel on it, like now everything's touch.
I definitely have. It's not touch. I have the scroll wheel. But I still use it. I love it.
Yeah, you can't hate the iPod. If you don't have an iPod,
you can't.
And
like everybody's got the new iPhone. I'm not a fan of it. All my friends have issues with it so far. It's real. Yeah, I feel this is the same. My iPod's the same, or my iPad's the same, just without a phone.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't even need
Well,
it.
that's how, like, when I worked in Radio Shack, people would go, like, I want to get the iPad. But the funny thing is, like, they didn't know why they wanted the iPad. They're like, I want an iPad. What can I do with it? And I'm like, do you have an iPod Touch? Or, I mean, that's all it is. It's iPod Touch bigger.
I just don't have the phone.
But now that it's bigger, they want to make it smaller again.
Right.
And it blows my mind that how the technology.
And the battery life goes so quick on the phone.
Oh, it does. Oh, I never.
iPhone. My friend has one, and it's like she'll be on it, of course, most of the day, and then it's like done. Like you don't get a full day out of it.
Well, I mean, maybe it's because I have it on my Android. Like with the Android, I turn off my data. I turn off I turn off everything. Like and then when I want it on, I turn it on, and I get decent battery life out of it.
Yeah.
Wow, this is like tech talk.
I know.
But I mean, I love Android, like because Android's owned by Google, and Google fucking owns everything. I have a Gmail account.
Yeah.
Like I was just doing some research the other day on like spreadsheets, because I have there's a free program called OpenOffice that has you can download. It's like it's a free version of Word. It's a free version of Excel. Like you can do spreadsheets, like Microsoft Word. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm selling stuff on eBay, so I'm trying to keep track of the stuff that I sell in case the IRS wants to come after me. But so
my spreadsheet.
So Google, yeah, right. Here's my spreadsheet. Like you sold your freaking Shrek comic book, and it's a tax write-off.
That's a tax write-off.
Well, no, not as is Shrek. It's also Shrek and the Penguins of Madagascar. It's a double issue.
We got it.
But they're both DreamWorks. But like Google itself has this thing called Google Docs, and it's like a free spreadsheet, and then like.
They're taking over the world.
Yeah, they're taking. You blink your eye, and it'll take the spreadsheet and email it through your Gmail account, and then you can send it to your phone. And like Google's starting to own everything, and it's really like they're going to be like. Google's going to be like a James Bond villain one day. It's like they're going to own everything.
The big Google guy comes out.
And Jesus Christ, this is going to be a tech talk. Nowadays, and I just signed up for this thing called Google Drive. Now, Google Drive is what the iPad is doing with the cloud.
Okay.
Where, you buy your music and it goes online. The cloud, and all the cloud is basically you download to your computer, you download to your iPad.
Goes to everything, right?
Yeah, it's your hard drive that's somewhere in the internet, and you could get your files, but
just somewhere out there.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is that like we're slowly getting into, and I also have this. They had the same situation like with the PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 3, and I buy music on I buy music. I buy games. I've purchased games on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
And what it is that there's no physical media now. The funny thing is I'm selling video games on eBay, but nowadays. I'm buying games for all intents and purposes. They call it in the cloud. It's buying it off the internet.
Right.
So, like, if let's just say my PlayStation broke down now, or if I had another PlayStation in the other room, I can sign in onto my account and download that game to that PlayStation.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure they keep track of it. Like, I can't have two of the games going at the same time or something like that. But, everything is going to the cloud. Like, and they, there's going to be no physical media anymore. Everything's going to be in the cloud.
Damn cloud.
Yeah, there's going to be no CDs. There's going to be no DVDs. There's going to be no video games. Everything's going to be owned
by the cloud.
I say the cloud only because, PlayStation's doing it. Now, Apple has the cloud.
Right.
Google now has it.
Is that the same thing?
Well, no, Google has the Drive. Well, no, I don't think Microsoft has it yet. But that's the crazy thing is that, like, the Google Drive, it's free. It's like 5 gigs for free.
Okay.
Now, if you're the kind of person, like my iPod alone, I literally have 160 gig iPod. I have like 17,000 songs. I've been illegally downloading music since like 99. I'm not even joking. And once again, you do not have permission to use this recording against us. I plead the fifth. But I've been literally downloading music since '99. I remember
Metallica fan?
And I'm a Metallica. Well,
Lars is gonna come after you.
Well, here's the deal, and it's funny. I kind of had like this conversation with someone on YouTube. I'm such a nerd.
It's okay. I still love you.
Well, when it comes to the Metallica stuff, I'm a Metallica fan. I actually physically own all those albums. I think right over there, I'm pointing to somewhere in our room for the people, for everyone else who's listening to the show and not us. I have my Metallica CDs. They're in a box right now because I don't need the CDs because everything's ripped onto my computer and my hard drive. I own the CDs, so
you have the right to steal the music.
I can go online and download the song. Like, let's just say right now my iPod got wiped out. And I'm so lazy that I don't want to get up from my own computer and walk over to where the CDs are at. I don't want to have to dig into my pile of shit over there and get my CDs.
Well, Americans are lazy.
We're lazy. And let me tell you, I've done that. I've downloaded stuff that I have right next to me because I'm so lazy. I've streamed movies online.
It's just easier than
I even go over and unopen the CD box and then put it. I'll just watch it. So, like when it comes to Metallica, I actually physically bought all those albums.
Right.
So I can download it. Like,
do what you want now.
Yeah, because what happened was I downloaded, or there was an old song, and it shows you how old I am. I'm 34. I'll be 35 in 2 months. It was old.
Almost dead.
And it was a song called Pac-Man Fever.
Okay.
And
sounds great.
Yeah, because you're 26.
26.
So you're 26. Okay, so there's like a 10-year difference between us, or a 9-year difference. It was a song called Pac-Man Fever. Now, I mean, luckily, I have programs on my computer where I can actually take the YouTube video and make it into an MP3 file.
Right.
And so, this guy. Now, the funny thing is, while I was looking for the song, like one day that song just popped into my head, and I said, So the funny thing is that those guys, the guys who actually made the album, have re-released like a 35-year anniversary CD. Which, I mean, I'm not even kidding. It's Bruckner and Garcia, for anyone who's interested. BrucknerandGarcia.com. And it's a whole album of songs dedicated to video games. Pac-Man Fever, Do the Donkey Kong, and I'm such a nerd. So,
that's cool.
And it's cool. And there's like a 35 year, there's this thing came out like in 84. So like it's way before even Nintendo, the original Nintendo. But in 84, I was 7. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm
loving it.
I'm playing Pac-Man, and, so, I put on the site, I said, cause the guy had the whole album and different songs for each track as a video. And I said, and I just made a comment, and I'm not trying to like kick the guy because he's putting the music out there for free. Right. But I was like, just letting you know that the CD is available. Like I put that not only for him, but just for other people who are going to listen to the tracks. Like, look, these guys, they're one-hit wonders, right. Whatever. If you want to actually buy the physical CD, because actually someone made a comment where like they said you can't find a CD anymore. And mind you, that comment was like from like a year ago. And then I posted, hey, you can go to BrucknerGarcia.com and buy the CD now. I don't know, maybe a year ago when you checked, it wasn't available. Now it is. And like I said, there's a 35-year anniversary edition, which actually in between each song, they talk about the next song and like a director's commentary. So, Jesus, I'm such a nerd. This is all tech talk. I thought we were supposed to be talking about funny shit.
He loves the technology. It's okay.
So
the
conversation I had with the guy, basically back and forth, was that I bought this album in '84. Let me tell you, I played the shit out of this album in '84. So I think I have.
I'm not even born yet.
Yeah. I was like 2 years older than you, which I left all my stuff in my old house after my divorce, but I actually had that. I still have that album. Technically, I mean, now it's probably the property of Orange County Sheriff Department, but
they're listening to it.
I actually physically own that album. I bought it. I should be able to download it because at one point my money did go to their pockets. Yeah. So in perpetuity, I'm allowed. But that's the whole thing, is that like with the PlayStation 3, now this is like how they're fucking you. The PlayStation 2, you can't play PlayStation 2 games on a PlayStation 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now,
that's
and the coolest thing about the PlayStation 2 was that you were able to play PlayStation 1 games.
Right.
It was backwards compatible. Now with the PlayStation 3, you can't play them.
What's so
and that's the whole thing.
about
it's a bullshit technology. They've made it purposely because you're going to tell me
still a CD.
It's still a CD.
Oh, so then they just did something.
And the PlayStation 3 is a freaking Blu-ray player. Yeah. You're going to tell me you can't play older stuff.
Right.
But what they do, these bastards.
Liars! We're coming for you.
Now what they do is, we have, now mind you, it's only like the best top selling games of PlayStation 2 you could actually download onto the PlayStation Network, onto your PlayStation 3. But I already own these games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm selling them on eBay now. But, let's just say I owned, I'll take a popular game, Metal Gear Solid 2, which is like super big, one of the best selling games of all time. Okay. If I have Metal Gear Solid 2, why should I pay $10? There should be like a thing where like,
if you have the game already,
like it'll read the CD and go, okay, you got to download the new version or something.
That's stupid.
But that's how they fuck you.
Yeah.
That's The cloud is going to fuck us all, people. And that's
the cloud.
I went into this 15-minute tangent just to tell you that the cloud is going to fuck us.
Sticking it to the man.
There's going to be no more physical. Like right now, I mean, part of the reason I saw my stuff on eBay was I took like 20 PlayStation 2 games to GameStop. And the guy goes...
They probably don't even want them.
Yeah,
right?
the guy literally scanned all 20 games and goes, I'll give you $8 for them. All 20 games, which means that these games were going for like 40-something cents, or at the very least. And I said, but at least, I mean, I know there's people out there.
Pushed them.
Well, no, the guy's just doing it.
With his scanner.
Look, I work for the man. I know what it is. That guy's just a small, tiny gear in a bigger machine. And it just bothered, but it's funny that but with the stuff in the cloud, you can't do that anymore. There's a bunch of kids right now who buy the games. People who have a lot more disposable income than me. They'll buy the game, beat it, return it right back to GameStop.
Oh, okay.
And they bought it for $60. GameStop gives them $20 for it. Oh. And then they use that $20 to buy the next game. Now, you can't do that. The cloud is going to kill GameStop. And I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing because GameStop tried to fuck me.
Right.
But,
boycott GameStop.
Yeah, it's gonna kill,
Definitely.
Nowadays, like you got Netflix and I love Netflix.
You do. See, I'm a little iffy about it.
And I brought it up before.
I do like how it does do the shows that you were talking about, how you can catch up on shows. I do like that. What I don't like is the movies. Yeah,
they have a really, really, really limited selection.
Yeah,
I'll give
I like
you that.
The shows, but movie-wise, that's not what I'm going for.
Yeah, I mean, like I was telling Kristyn before, I love Netflix because it's helped me catch up with all these shows that I never had a chance to watch in the first place. Mad Men, Breaking Bad.
I think I watched Lost on it.
Lost. I have the freaking box set right here. I love Lost.
Great. And then the season finale, I was like, come on! I don't even get it.
Well, you see, the island represents a purgatory where
I have to read up on it.
And these people, the redemption. If you notice, every time they saw someone, it was a person who was already dead, and they had to basically.
Could you stop it?
And at the end of the episode, the bright light was them being welcomed into heaven, and which is why Ben didn't go. Ben stood outside the church, and oh my God,
I had to read up on it. I felt so stupid. I was like,
oh no, I love Lost.
I've seen the new show from the same producer.
Oh,
Alcatraz.
No, that's the funny. Now, I love. Well, the funny thing is, I like JJ. I have a love-hate relationship with JJ Abrams.
He's funny looking. He's a little
well, he's a nerd, and
he's probably a techie.
Oh yeah, of course he's a techie. Well, a guy,
Well, he probably invented the cloud.
But well, I don't know if you know this about JJ Abrams. Like when you watch Lost, like you hear the music and like the logo, like the big infamous logo, like Lost. Like he did that on he did that on his home computer.
Oh, cool.
Like and the same thing with Alcatraz. Like the music, even though it's all simple stuff.
Right.
He's so into it that we're watching something he made on his MacBook. And
that's your love-hate?
No. What I see, because J.J. Abrams is like hit or miss. I mean, okay, I never got a chance to watch Alias, even though I heard it was good. Maybe
I never watched it either.
I'll catch up with it on Netflix one day.
I never watched it either.
Actually, I don't think it's on Netflix right now. I did look for it. I obtained season 1 somehow, for Alias.
Through the cloud.
And I didn't, Alias, I never watched. Lost, I loved. But also, keep in mind that, Lost, really, he only did season 1. Okay, J.J. Abrams has a great... He can set him up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
every
he can set him up.
Ended with, a suspense. I loved it. It was like, well, what's next week?
But, I mean, okay, he can set it up. He can't knock it down.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love Lost, but he set up this great show. Mm-hmm. And then, I watch interviews. Even the writers were like... The people who wrote the fucking show said, we don't know what it is.
Right. Didn't they, probably by, the last season, they were just kind of,
Yeah, they were
writing each week.
Yeah, we kind of have to...
Week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tell
us what you want to see.
The fans like the golden light coming out of the hole in the ground, so let's write more about that.
What do you guys like about it? Dharmaville. It was just crazy. And they just kept, introducing new things, and then nothing would get resolved.
I hope we're not spoiling it. We should have prefaced this by saying spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's been over.
John Locke is the monster.
Yeah, right. The dark smoke or whatever it was.
The smoke monster. Nah. The numbers don't mean anything.
The numbers, yeah. And that big guy, what's his name?
Hurley.
Yeah, Hurley. He's in the new one.
Hurley's in Alcatraz. Now,
I've
once
only
again,
seen the first couple episodes, but I was like, this is Lost.
it's
all
a
over
great
again.
concept. It's about guys who are in Alcatraz, and I've pretty much seen every episode. And one thing I do like about the show, I mean, I guess it's not good for people who are new, but they're, it's going to get canceled. Like I've already heard the news.
It's already on the...
It's guys who are
viral.
It's the guys who are in a jail in Alcatraz, which also the show kind of appeals to me because being a correction officer.
Right.
And
Have you ever been there?
No, I've never been to Alcatraz. The funny thing, my friend's been there. My buddy Eddie, who's a cop in the Bronx, and the funny thing, he actually brought me back he brought me a tin cup and that said Alcatraz on it, and a coffee mug. So thank you, Ed. And actually, I still have the coffee mug is upstairs right over my kitchen. The tin cup is probably somewhere in my garbage. Not my garbage. Excuse me, not my garbage. I'm a hoarder. I don't throw anything out. So the tin cup.
I don't see it. So
Well, if I had, I don't have an official desk. If I had an official desk, I'd probably use the whole pens, or maybe my Stormtrooper coffee mug would probably hold my pens. Now, so Alcatraz is about these guys who were on Alcatraz back in 1950 or 60. No, yeah, no. Okay, no. The show goes back to 61.
Right, and then there's
now, but they disappeared in 63.
Right, that one.
But see now. J.J. Abrams did it kind of smart because he was hoping that the show would stay on for like 2-3 years. So in 2013, it would have been the 50th, 60th year of Alcatraz, and then we could. Now it says the show always kind of, and see, this is where I know they're fucking with us, and I know
he's on to them.
I know I see through these things. They want us to believe it's time travel. They want us to believe that these guys somehow disappeared one day and woke up. I think, and this is my nerdy.
Because then they come to present day, and then they commit the same.
They
commit the same crime that got them into Alcatraz.
Yeah, well, obviously, all the guys wake up. They don't know why they woke up or how they woke up, but all of a sudden, now magically they know about technology.
Yeah, right.
Like one of the guys has like a cell phone in his pocket, knows how to use it. But
they've been in Alcatraz so many years.
My theory is that they didn't time travel. They were all frozen. So it's not like they time traveled. They were frozen and then maybe brainwashed and then woken back up. That's just my opinion. So I think they called them the 63s, but when the show...
Yeah, 63. On March 21st, 1963, over 300 inmates and more than 40 guards disappeared.
Yeah, so
that's it.
300, so that's, if there's like one episode for every inmate, they're looking to do... They're looking, he set himself up for a long-running show, and unfortunately people don't give a fuck.
You got over 300 inmates, so you can have 300 episodes.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, 300 episodes.
And 40 guards, Yeah,
and it takes a show about 100 episodes to get into syndication, and that's about 5 seasons. So,
and then they usually capture them, that group of people that know all about Alcatraz and knows what's going on. I guess.
Yeah, there's like and that's kind of like that's like being like Lost, where there's a big part that they talk about, but they don't really go into about the other people who.
Yeah, the others.
and there's a second Alcatraz, like their own brand new Alcatraz that they put all the guys in, and.
So they go and capture Hurley. Hurley's the expert on Alcatraz.
Well, that's the whole thing is that I love how the show goes because don't get me wrong, I love Hurley. His name is Jorge Garcia. I love Jorge Garcia. I actually, through 6 degrees of separation, I have a friend who knew him.
Really?
Yeah, she's
That's so cool.
My homegirl Sharina. She married my boy Anthony. She used to work in a Virgin Megastore out in Los Angeles. He worked at a Virgin Megastore in Los Angeles,
really?
and she said he was the nicest guy on the planet. He's like the way his character is on like Lost.
Right.
Like he was very laid back, chilled, and everything like that.
Did he look the same with the hair and everything?
I guess. I mean, she never, but she did know him, and now, mind you, Sharina won't talk to me anymore because she was friends with my ex-wife, who I don't talk to anymore. So she doesn't talk to me. But through 6 degrees of separation, I actually, I know somebody who knows Hurley. And,
no, you knew Hurley.
I know. But the funny thing is, they always set up the show because it's Hurley and this other female detective.
Right.
And she's always the one that has to chase the guys. For some reason, Hurley's never there to chase the guys down the street.
He's like the expert on Alcatraz, and then she's the big bad police officer.
He always magically shows up, like he always pulls up the card just moments after she arrests the guy.
Yeah, he's this guy that did this, this, and this.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah, and then they throw him in the cell at the end. It's very, very Lost-like.
Oh yeah. Then there's a conspiracy. Then you find out that that the guy that the girl's she's chasing one guy, But then it turns out like that was like her grandfather,
right? Yeah,
and it was her grandfather who was like different.
Yeah, grandfather.
And he
defrosted,
but he killed her.
Dad, or was it her uncle or something?
No, I think it's her.
Was a guard. Or
her uncle was a guard.
Yeah, at Alcatraz.
And Alcatraz, but shit.
And then like her grandfather was in.
Yeah, her grandfather was actually in Alcatraz or something like that. So
I think that was the last episode I left off on. So it was like number 4.
I like Alcatraz, but like it's already falling apart. Right. You know what I'm saying? And as much as I love it, like movie wise, like have you ever seen? You see the new Star Trek?
No, I heard great things about it, and I love
really
Chris
good.
Pine.
Chris Pine as and I'm a Star Trek geek. I'm one of the few geeks where I'm actually a Star Trek and Star Wars fan. We should hold hands, and there should be no disparity in the nerd community.
Very rare breed.
Star Wars and Star Trek can coexist peacefully without without provocation of our brothers and sisters.
Have you been? Can we all just get along?
It's all beautiful, wonderful sci-fi, and it's two different things.
Science,
Star Trek is science fiction. Star Wars is fantasy.
It's true.
Star Wars is a fantasy show. It's a fantasy show. It's a fantasy. Even George Lucas said it. I mean, it's kind of like a retelling of like King Arthur. It's not. It's knights and dragons. It's not robots and aliens. I mean, even though Star Wars is robots and aliens, they use aliens and robots to kind of be allegories or whatever the case may be. Jesus Christ.
You ever been to one of the conventions?
I've never been to a convention. I've never been to.
Tricky
no. Strike that. No.
Uh-oh.
When I got married, I went to Vegas. I got married in Vegas. Awesome. I got married by an Elvis impersonator.
The Little White Chapel?
Well, not the Little White Chapel, but it was a place called the Hollywood Chapel in Las Vegas. And
awesome.
No, what happens is, and this this is a good story. And once again, unofficial plug. It was the Hollywood Chapel in Las Vegas. For $350, they pick you up from wherever you are in Las Vegas, drive you to the courthouse.
Okay.
Now the funny thing is the courthouse, their office that issues the marriage certificates is open 24 hours a day. So it's funny, like the rest of the building could be shut down. Right, that office is always open. They drive you there. And talk about great customer service. I mean, my marriage went down the shitter, but the wedding was great.
The wedding was awesome.
Not when you get in the limo where they pick you up, they actually have the forms ready for you.
Oh.
They have it on clipboard, so you can fill it out there, and they actually have a couple extra copies in case you mess up or you're drunk or something. So,
on it or whatever.
So, like your forms, you could fill out the form on your way to the courthouse, or then you go. Then now that's out of their hands. You have to wait in line. We were behind. Me and my ex-wife were behind this like super obvious like mail order bride. It was like this 48-year-old white guy, corny looking, and relatively very attractive Asian woman who spoke no fucking English whatsoever.
Well, he's the teacher.
Oh my God. But I mean, it was so obvious. I mean, like there was a 20-year difference in age and she was like, I mean, and I'm not, and I mind you, I grew up a stone's throw from Chinatown and I was just saying is I'm not one of those guys that think Asian, like, some guys have what they call yellow fever.
Right.
Don't be wrong. I find attractiveness in all different kinds of women. But, I'm not one of those guys who like love Asian chicks. Oh, an attractive woman's an attractive woman. She was good looking. Yeah. And this guy looked like he could be a fucking plumber. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't look like he had money, or maybe, he had enough money to buy her.
Yeah, he had enough money to get her, so he's got something.
And so he was, but it was so funny because, like, I think she turned around and asked us a question, and her English was so chopped up.
How do I get out of here?
Please help!
Help!
Please, authority! That's horrible.
Help! No, you're fine. Go ahead. Pen the paper. No. Put the pen in your hand.
And so, then as soon as you're done with the paperwork, they drive you to the actual chapel. And the chapel, it was a glorified office, but it looked nice, and they had like a little chapel. Now, what happens is the guy who actually owns the place is the guy who has the actual authority to marry you.
Okay.
So you really get married in his office.
Okay.
And but he says all like the official stuff. Okay, do you take her? Do you take him? And the funny thing is that like it happened so fast. I was looking for my camera. Like, I turned around, and like I missed half the ceremony looking for my camera that was like on the chair next to me. I wasn't. I went down the shitter because I'm too busy looking for my disposable Kodak.
Yeah, right.
And
gotta wind it up.
Smile. And then the funny thing is, talking about coincidence, that was an older white guy with an Asian wife.
That's just common around there, I guess. And did she speak English?
She spoke perfect English.
Beautiful.
And they had a beautiful, beautiful little daughter who they had trained to say, "Can I be your flower girl?" Oh. So what am I going to do? They're pimping out their daughter. And I'm, like, what am I supposed to do? No, get away from me, you little snot. So, they have, they now, and it was a family business. The guy marries you. The wife takes the pictures. Now, you leave that up to this Asian stereotype that they use cameras and stuff like that. So they, now you're in the chapel. So even before you got married, they take pictures of you. They had a fake cake set up,
Can you eat the cake?
No, it's a styrofoam, but it looked pretty good. Delicious. So you get, so the husband marries you. The wife takes pictures of you throughout the chapel. Their daughter's the flower girl who guilts you into being your flower girl for the fake wedding. And so, like I said, we officially got married in his office. Da-da-da. He signs the paper. We sign it, and there's like a thing you have to mail in or whatever. Right. And basically, like 5 minutes after you get officially married, then the Elvis impersonator comes out.
Yes.
In the chapel. Now
who was that? The brother? The uncle?
Actually, I don't think he was, because my Elvis impersonator was British.
Yes.
Swear to God.
Nice.
When he spoke to us, now mind you, he did Elvis in full character. Mm-hmm. Entertaining as hell, and you promise not to step on our blue suede shoes, and don't be cruel, and he
committed.
This guy as an actor, and if you didn't know he was British, he's like all those those actors in Hollywood. If you didn't know he was British, when he started talking regularly, it threw me off. Like, what the? I thought you.
What the hell?
Hello, sir.
Congratulations.
And geez, this is a horrible fucking British accent. I'm probably offending a bunch of British people if they're listening.
Sorry.
So he goes and he does full-blown ceremony, and what happens is there's actually, and mind you, the pictures, all this is included. They $350. Now, mind you, this is back in 2004.
Probably went up now with
the
economy. 300, 400 now.
And then there's also video of the wedding. They have a video camera going. So
the little girl.
Well, the funny thing is, the video it looks like a fucking security video. It's basically it's a camera at a bad angle with the clock in the corner. It's on VHS. They gave us the VHS. So they took pictures of us, which was the actual roll of film. Like they go, we could take care of it, but here's the roll. You take it to Rite Aid and get it developed.
It's the hour.
The VHS tape, the Elvis impersonator, and of course I tipped everyone. I tipped the girl, I tipped the mom, I tipped the Elvis guy, or whatever.
Cool
so I probably threw like another $100 out towards tipping and everything like that. And then when all is said and done, then you get back in a limo and they drop you off wherever the hell you want to go.
So how long do you have the limo for? Because from start to finish.
From start to finish, honestly, the limo was probably with us maybe an hour and 20 minutes.
So pretty much everything was that quick.
For $350, they do everything.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like
everywhere. Not bad.
Yeah, the Hollywood. I'm giving them an unofficial sponsorship of the Hollywood Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada. And like I said, it was very, very. Now, okay. Wow, how'd I get there? In Vegas, they have the Star Trek exhibit at the Hilton Hotel. And for all Star Trek, I wanted to. Okay. Not wanted to, but I have pictures. Okay, in the Hilton in Las Vegas, it's the Star Trek exhibit. Now, of course, the thing about Vegas is that, have you ever been?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Actually, my friend used to live there. Now she moved to California, and she wasn't a stripper; she was a teacher. Okay.
Well, okay, so the thing about, now, you walk into the Hilton Vegas. Now, of course, I mean, they have a sign outside saying, Star Trek, whatever. But, it's not like the whole thing is Star Trek.
Yeah.
There's the actual casino. Mm-hmm. And then as you go towards the section, then it starts getting like, you start seeing a little more, you see like Star Trek themed, slot machines and stuff like that.
It's slowly.
And then when you get there, it's a full, I mean, it's actually a whole like wing of the building. But the funny, because I thought, I didn't realize it was going to be that big, or I didn't realize. And so when you go through now,
and it's always like this. This isn't like
it's not going anywhere.
Okay,
and they're scooping up so much money that they'd be shooting themselves in the foot.
I didn't know something they like set up that weekend, but
it's a Star Trek thing in Hilton. And my buddy Anthony Carcana, he's the one his name is Jackal. Just shouting him out in case he's listening. He recommended it to me, and he's a big Star Trek nerd. And so, like, okay, so you go to buy your ticket and get in, and just to wait online to get in, you're going through like a mini Star Trek museum. While you're online, they have models and outfits and stuff like that, and here's the actual model that they use in filming of the episode. While you're waiting online,
can you touch it?
No, it's behind glass and stuff like that. But like even while you're waiting online, I mean, but, and the funny, me like a goof, I want to take a picture by the Deep Space Nine outfit, and it, and the lights flashing off the fucking window, so you can't. The picture comes out horrible anyway. So okay, then you actually get in, and there's a bunch of stuff to do. I mean, of course, first and foremost, it's a casino, so there are slot machines and whatever the case may be. They
have strippers. Dressed.
No, it's a family. Vegas is trying to be family now. Okay. Yeah, it's Star Trek.
If there was like a special arcade.
Oh my god, if there was, I probably. Now, mind you, we just got married. It was like the day after we got married.
This is the honeymoon.
And I said, and so, and you have to understand, the woman I married does not like science fiction. She tolerated it because she was tolerating me, and so
the things you'll do for love, right?
They have, so we went there. There was 2 motion rides where you go, and when I say motion rides, you sit in the theater and like the chairs move back and forth, and one of them, I think you had to wear 3D glasses for.
Of course,
and it's a whole, and not only is it a motion ride, it's like a whole setup. Like before you even get in the motion ride, you stand in this room and there's people dressed up like Starfleet people, and it looks like one of them looks like that one. There was one in 3D, the one that had to do with the Borg. I don't know. You watch Star Trek at all, or
too much.
Oh, okay. Well, there's the Borg were these people that were whatever. So, long story short, they have while you're waiting online to get into the motion ride, there's a whole drama being played out in front of you by the actors. I mean, and not that it was like big, super special effects, but there's like a part where like a guy gets pulled into the ceiling, like one of the robots is pulling him, and so you see. I mean, not afterwards you see that, you see the lift, but it's probably those things like sounds like a cool thing, but the people they probably fucking hate it. 50 times a day I get pulled up by a stupid alien robot.
It was fun the first.
And so so there was 2 motion rides, so you got to wait online. Then one of the cool things, even before while you're waiting online for the motion ride, they take pictures of you. And what they do is they take a picture of you, and then while you're on the ride, now the person who has to do this for everybody that's online, by the time you get off the ride, they have your face. You can buy like any combination of Star Trek crew.
Okay.
From the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, where they put your head on like on a cast member's body.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, here's me and Kirk and Spock. Here's me, and but the funny thing is,
my friends.
Now, trust me, I'm no Slim Jim now, but at that time I was 360 pounds. So there's my, they got my face, like just my face on this very thin bulky body, saying where like they don't have my double chin or anything like that. And so, it was, it's so funny to see my big head, my head that's usually that big on a much fitter man's body. But like every different combination, like, they had, my face on.
You could choose?
You could, well, you had to pay for it. You had to pay for it, but, they had like, every person that got out of line, you had like 6 options of different pictures. You could have your face.
That's crazy.
I mean, I guess they do it while you're also waiting in line and stuff.
Yeah.
And then my ex-wife was actually wearing these really cool, funky, futuristic earrings. So in her picture, she looked a lot more cooler because she looked like a member. I just looked like this fat guy with a thin guy with a fat guy's head.
Were you pissed that she looked better?
Which, I mean, it just...
my thing.
Like, her picture, like... the picture that she took, like if you weren't paying attention, you would say, "Oh, that's just another member." Like she almost fitted into the picture.
Just a background.
And then after that, okay, so we did the 2 rides, which that kills like well over an hour because you're waiting in line and all that other bullshit. Then they had like a themed bar. Now this is the part she liked. This is because she was a drunk. Where and of course it was all like you could get the the meltdown, the dilithium crystal meltdown, and this and this and that, and it was all crazy, funky glasses, like this one thing that looked like a it was basically a big glass ball with like a rim on the top. Cut out, but then it sat like in this little V thing also. So like you could hold it and drink out of the cup, but you have to put it back in that thing or it's going to roll. It's going to roll. Yeah. It's like they basically give you a fishbowl to drink out. And it was, and everything is like themed. It's like, the Klingon's warrior blood. There's. What
was your favorite drink?
The funny. Warrior blood? Well, she had my ex-wife had a thing called like the core meltdown or something like that, like, which was like this big green fucking drink. Cause I'm a beer man, so I was drinking beer. She was drinking liquor, and that's like she didn't want to go. She didn't want to get on the fucking rides. As soon as there was alcohol, we sat there.
Go to the bar.
She said, "Man, you should have took me here first. Left me here all day. I would have, you go do all the stupid rides you like.
Do whatever you want."
So while you're at the bar, there are people in full character.
Of course.
Full character. And you have to understand, I'm a Star Trek nerd. I can talk to people about Star Trek. I go, and there was a guy dressed up like a Klingon. And I mean, I know you have to know Klingons. I mean, even the people who aren't Star Trek. There was a guy dressed up like a Ferengi. Do you know what a Ferengi is?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay. And like,
Klingon I can get.
The Klingon, and the guy, like,
Spock,
he shakes my hand like a warrior, like where you actually grab the person's forearm instead of their hand. And he goes, I am,
You must have felt like you.
Yeah, he goes, I am the House of Clothon, and I am the House of Cologne, and we're talking, and then like in the Ferengis, I'm talking, what a fucking nerd I am. The Ferengis are like a race that's built on profit. Like everything they do is about making money, but they're also a male dominant race. So the females don't even wear clothes.
So there was just naked shit?
No. So, like, when I met the Ferengi, I introduced him to my wife, and I'm like, well, on our planet, we let our females wear clothes. And I'm getting into it with this fucking guy with this bullshit job.
He's like,
oh, great, you're one of those.
Here we go.
So, I took a picture with the Ferengi, I took a picture with the Klingon. There was a guy that was a Borg, but the thing about the Borg is that they don't talk. So the guy's like, and he has like this weird arm with things spinning on it, and like he quote unquote scans me, and like,
How long were you there for?
Oh, we were there. We were there. We were in the bar area for about an hour and a half.
I could see you guys just chilling, like you loving the.
I had such a fucking.
Loving the drinks.
Now, one thing that I did do, and I did leave her at the bar because they had this other thing where, it was called video karaoke.
Okay.
And what it is you go in and they have little screens that you read the dialogue off of, and you're on a green screen, and they put you into an episode of Star Trek.
Oh.
It's like a 6-minute episode.
Yeah.
It's not, but so
cool.
Since you're on the green screen and you're looking at the screen,
face, right?
it's you're like, and you're like they tell you, okay, there's like 3 different TV screens. So they're like, okay, when the light comes on under the TV, look at that light and read the words off the screen.
Okay.
It's like, oh, hello, Captain. Yes, I'm the ambassador from Earth. Then like, then they'll have the other light comes on. Oh, well, we're having problems with the ambassador, so they sent me. Then the last one's like, oh, okay, have a good day. And so then they put you in an episode where it looks like you're talking to, and it's the original crew. It's the original Star Trek where, William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. And so I did that while she stood at the bar. She goes, go do that stupid.
You didn't even have to read it. You just knew what to say.
Well, I mean, it's kind of an original script. I mean, I do know the episode they got it from.
What number was it?
Oh, I don't know. Episode 14 of season 2, 1963.
They probably have it at like Darien Lake or something, like an amusement park.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, because I've seen like my friend's mom, they do like, if they're at a green screen, and then they put like the green thing on their body except for their head, so you just see their face, and then they put them on like these dancers' bodies, and they do a whole dance, but it's not really them. It's just their face, and it's funny.
Floating on a body.
So it's like,
oh, okay,
probably the same type of thing.
And I mean, they
the whole green screen thing.
Yeah, they had. I mean, I remember when they had this green screen where it was actual karaoke, where like you're singing, and then they put you like you're on a stage, or you're you're on a beach.
You're on a beach. Anyway.
And so as for my nerd cred, goddammit, I'm going to defend and say, okay, I've never been to a Star Trek convention, but I did go to the Star Trek exhibit. Oh no, excuse me, they called it Star Trek Experience in the Vegas Hilton, and I recommend it to anybody who is a Star Trek fan.
And how many years ago was that?
2004. So
they might have amped it up.
8 years. I know it's probably and I still
probably got like 4 bars. 4 rides you can go on.
And they now I mean, I did get emails afterwards because I was on the mailing list, so they just come down and check this. So okay, Jesus Christ, where do we go back? Okay, back to J.J. Abrams.
Oh yeah, back to J.J.
Well, because this new Star Trek. Now, I'm the kind of person where I come up with a billion ideas, and I hate it when something I thought of kind of gets put on the screen, or I'm like, that was my idea. Now, Star Trek, the new Star Trek wasn't my idea, but I always thought of... It wasn't my idea. Well, no, of course, obviously Star knows. Mr. Gene Roddenberry's
did you like it? I've heard it was really good.
I loved it. It was fucking awesome. It's part 2. Part 2's coming out. Okay. Actually, I think it's being filmed right now, or something. It's going to be out next summer, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And, the big concept of which I felt they stole from my idea that I never told anyone was to take Star Trek and make it sexy. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, like you said yourself, Chris Pine. The girl, Zoe Saldana, the girl that plays Uhura.
Yes.
I
like how you do the
yeah. Now, the guy that Zachary Quinto, the guy who plays Spock. Yes. Now, I'm a big Heroes fan, and girls like him. I mean, he's not. I don't go that way. I mean, I guess I could see the attraction. They took Star Trek and made it, and they made it sexy. Right. Now, my idea was, and quite frankly, it could still be done as a series, was to do a show. I have an idea do a show called Starfleet Academy. Okay. Where, because we know Star Trek and we know the Outpost, and they always allude to Starfleet Academy.
What is that?
Well, the Starfleet Academy is like for the people who fly around. It's like the military academy they have to go to to learn about diplomacy, to learn how to fight, to learn how to work the spaceships and stuff like that.
So this whole big school.
And it's a school that in the series it's in San Francisco.
So they always talk about it, but never
they talk about it. Anybody who's ever been on the show has allegedly been through Starfleet Academy. So my idea was, you have a Starfleet Academy. Well, obviously, Starfleet Academy is the equivalent of college.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you would have young people, and of course, paint some people green, have a couple aliens, there's nothing wrong with having sexy aliens.
A couple extra eyes.
Yeah, a couple extra breasts.
Whatever you need.
And, and that was my idea a long time ago, which actually could still be a show today, where you would have all the drama, but you make it sexy, you know what I'm saying? And you can get girls who are traditionally not into Star Trek to watch it because...
Right. It's a college atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a college atmosphere. You got
playing beer pong, orgies,
and all the crazy, and anything that would be odd, you could just blame it off to alien behavior. Right. You know what I'm saying? And aliens blowing off steam and stuff like that. and so, what I liked about the movie was that he took Star Trek, he made it sexy, and it was a good movie. And once again, call me a nerd. Like the first 5 minutes of the movie is a flashback, and I don't want to spoil it for you since you haven't seen it. But and that's one thing I do have to give to J.J. Abrams. If you don't feel choked up watching the first 5 minutes of the movie, you don't have a soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do have to give it to him. That scene is so emotional. And, do you want me to spoil it or no? Or
go ahead.
Okay. Well, the whole...
I'll run it this week.
The whole point is it's Kirk being born.
Okay.
And his father... Well, I guess, it's not spoiling because anyone who's listening to the show that cares probably seen the movie already. Kirk is being born as a spaceship is being attacked. Okay. Now, Kirk's father was like he was working for Starfleet. He works on the ship, but he's like 8th in command. You know what I'm saying? In the chain of command. Now, what happens is, as the spaceship's getting attacked, everyone above him gets killed.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And so what happens is that his father, for all intents and purposes, on this crashing spaceship, has to take command.
Okay.
But his wife is about to give birth to his kid. Now, of course, the line is the captain always goes down with the ship.
Right.
So he kind of has to fool the wife, who's a baby's crowning out of her as we're talking about it.
He's shooting out a baby.
He tricks her into taking an escape shuttle to raise the freaking kid as he's on this crashing ship. Literally, it's burning through the atmosphere, and then the whole thing with that was that his father, who always wanted to be a captain, was actually a captain for 8 minutes.
8 seconds, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then while the ship is crashing, he's using the communicator to talk to his wife, name him Jim after my grandfather or whatever. And it's such a fucking touching scene. You know what I'm saying? I didn't cry, but it fucking, my eyes watered up. Maybe because I'm a nerd or whatever, but if that scene doesn't pull on your heartstrings,
right,
then you have no soul.
You have to get it this weekend. Is it on Netflix?
It probably is. I wouldn't be surprised.
ton, and no, probably not. It's the movies.
Yeah.
The movies part of it.
Once again, J.J. Abrams. Have you ever seen Cloverfield?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, once
It was cool, but then suddenly once it was like this big monster thing, I was like...
I wanted to like it. And once again, it was set up so well. The first, the first 20 minutes of the movie,
Right.
These people on an island, people in Manhattan, for Christ's
I
sake.
was like, what?
Well, I mean, you have to understand, I grew where all the crazy shit is going on, and
me.
Cloverfield is
Yeah.
where I grew up. And, that was more the west side than the east side.
Right.
And of course, it really hit close to home because, I lived in Manhattan on 9/11,
Right.
I grew up on the east side while all the crazy shit happened on the west side, which coincidentally, the monster attacks from the west side of Manhattan. And, so, I mean, I guess the movie would strike a chord with me a little bit more than Joe Blow watching it and average Joe Blow American. But, it was so good. And then, it fizzled apart,
Once there was this monster thing coming and it was snatching people or whatever the hell it was doing.
Yeah, and it was like, you have this monster, and then it looks like a giant gorilla, but then it's got these whip-like arms.
I hate that crap. It's like...
and I hate to be, one of those people that that kind of, and that kind of monster would never exist.
Right, exactly.
The way it was designed, okay, I'll give it to you. Give me a monster that destroys Manhattan. I'll buy it hook, line, and sinker. But give me something that people who have studied animals and aliens and xenobiologists, can say, here is a plausible creature because it came from the water and had these big whip-like arms. Well, how does it,
ridiculous.
And then there's the spiders that come off its body. What the fuck are the spiders all about? Well, because the people, it's basically because the people are down in the subway and they needed something scary to come attack them in the dark.
The subway's gotta be just scary in itself.
Yeah, it's like these big spiders, and what's the deal with the spider? Give me something. Okay, the spiders live. They're. Give me an explanation. Say that the spiders eat the food that doesn't go into its mouth. Like what they call the tracer fishes or something like that off the sharks. Give me something. No, it sweats giant spider. Not only is this a big monster that any planet that a big giant like that monster would live on, the spiders wouldn't be able to exist because the big monster would eat it.
Put it down, yeah. It's just, have you seen Super 8?
Super 8,
it's the same thing,
and it's the same monster.
And, yeah,
it's
I hate movies like that where suddenly there's this huge stupid monster, and you're like, I wasted this amount of time for this big mechanical thing to come out. Ugh. That's why I hate future, not Star Trek. Okay,
no, it's okay. It's okay.
But just where suddenly there's this big monster, and it's this isn't realistic.
Yeah, and they tried it because J.J. Abrams is a big fan of Steven Spielberg.
Coming down, and it's
and he wanted to do E.T. He wanted to do his version of E.T.
Right.
That's all. 8mm, right? Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
What?
Well, Super 8.
Super 8. Excuse me. Yeah. And I just. And then you see the monster, and it looks like the Cloverfield monster, but this one's a nice one.
Yeah. Well, people.
It's not 30 stories high, and now it's only 15 feet high, and it's a nice.
The military made it or something weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole monster crap. I hate it. I need something realistic that I can relate to.
And so that's my love-hate relationship with J.J. Abrams, and of course, and we're coming up on an hour and a couple more seconds. I have to say I love the show Fringe.
I've heard great things. See, that's how I get to watching shows is people tell me how great they are, and I've yet to watch.
You have to watch Fringe, and I had copies here. I would probably blend you.
Did you sell them?
No, well. Well, the one thing, okay, Fringe, and we're hitting the hour mark now, and I'm just going to talk for another minute or so. What I liked Fringe started out as a Monster of the Week show, where every week, here's another monster we have to catch, kind of like an X-Files, kind of like every other fucking bullshit procedural show. And then season 2 came along. Now, and it's not really spoiling too much. Then season 2. Now it turns out that there's an alternate universe. There's a parallel universe. Okay. That's going on. And what happens... Well, shit, no, that'll be spoiling if I tell you what happens.
There's a lot of spoiler alerts on this episode.
Yeah, right? I'm going to put that in the description of the episode. Spoiler alert. Then by the time... Now, when you get to season 3... okay, Jesus Christ. I'm going to spoil this. I might as well just not say anything. But what I like about season 3... being, not only just the sci-fi. I mean, the key thing when it comes to writing shows like this and is, yes, there's a monster of the week.
Right.
Every episode is a new monster. But every crazy scenario that they had to take on added another piece to this bigger puzzle.
Okay.
For season 3. And
it's like Lost, you know how it ended and there's always something new at the end.
Well, there's something new, but there was an overall arc for season 3 that, like, as the pieces came together, you were like, holy... And then, like, the funny thing is, you got like, holy shit. And the funny thing, like season 3 and Fringe, you almost have to watch it again. Now that you know what's going on, it's kind of like Lost. Now that you know what's going on, you get the little pieces, and like, by the time you get to the last episode, you're like, oh my god, that's fucking genius! Okay, that's why, that's why the guy had the broom, that's why, he's the cleaner. No, well,
is that J.J. Abrams?
And that's J.J. Abrams. And
genius man.
And so, but now they're in season 4, and you can't top it. You can't top it. They're trying to do it.
Season 3 was the best.
Season 3 was like the best, and being a sci-fi nerd, season 3 was like the best season ever. And now I'm watching season 4, and don't be wrong, I love, and the word is that it's going to get canceled. Season 4 is the end, and they're gonna try
did the whole big season 3.
Yeah, like season 3, I guess it was such a great build and such a great reward when it was said and done. Like you can't follow it up. You can't you can't be AC/DC and do like Back in Black and then go and try to do some B-side no one's ever heard of. You got to I guess you got to leave on a strong note. And, like the British shows, like all the British shows that leave, the British shows are smart, they do 2 seasons and they're off the air.
Yeah, we'll just end it.
Okay, so we're at about 1 minute and 2, so I think we're going to wrap it up for this.
Thank you all for listening. It's been fun.
Thank you for listening.
Do you want to promote anything?
If you haven't hit subscribe yet, you could go to iTunes, 2 Strangers, 1 Podcast, you can subscribe. Once again, allow me to pimp www.doublejackpot.us. Once again, it's www.doublejackpot.us. You have links to my book, Double Jackpot, written by me. There's links to my eBay account where you can buy old video games, comic books, heavy metal memorabilia. There's links to my Big Bang Theory script, links to this show. Once again, there's a lot of links. Hey, you just go to the website, www.doublejackpot.us. Thank you for listening. Once again, I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristyn. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled C-O-L-O-N.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking, are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between 2 of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea, man. Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show. I assure you, sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin, that's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could saw them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonePodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonePodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.